What if I told you the ending of Alien Romulus wasn't the end at all, but the beginning of the next nightmare? What if Rain and Andy's so-called escape wasn't just the setup for something even darker, and the man who gave us this incredible return to form, Fede Álvarez, has already written the sequel, but won't be the one directing it? That's right, Álvarez has confirmed the script is finished. He's producing alongside Ridley Scott, and now the baton is being passed to the next filmmaker. And I don't know about you, that is an old Alien tradition. Hello everyone, welcome to Digital Charcuterie. My name is James. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new to the channel, a fan of the Alien franchise, hit that subscribe button. I talk about it and discuss it with you all right here on the channel. And I want to know your thoughts on the upcoming sequel to Alien Romulus and what you're thinking of Alien Earth in the comments down below. Let's kick it up where the hype all begins. New blood will be stepping in, bringing a new terror while the original vision stays protected. And that's where the hype kicks in, because if you really think about it, the way Romulus ended was not closure. It was a tease. Rain and Andy limp away, barely breathing, setting course for Yvaga 3.
Whatever comes, we'll face it together.
Let's go.
This so-called paradise planet, the dream of safety, of finally finding a home. But if you know the franchise, you know there's no such thing as a happy ending. Yvaga might look like heaven. What if it's actually hell in disguise? Álvarez even hinted at that himself, saying it could be a terrible place disguised as paradise. That's classic Alien right there. Give us hope, then rip it away in the most brutal way possible. Now let's really break this down, because there are so many directions this story could go. Here's an idea. They make it to Yvaga 3, and at first, it's everything Rain ever dreamed of. Clean air, green fields, people smiling, a colony that looks untouched by corporate greed. But then the cracks start to show. Maybe Weyland-Yutani already has their fingerprints on this world. Maybe it's one giant experiment. Or maybe the planet itself is hostile in ways they don't see at first. Either way, that false utopia becomes the perfect stage for horror. And let's not forget, Rain and Andy are bringing baggage with them. The black goo, the pathogen, the nightmare weapon that wiped out civilizations in Prometheus and Covenant. It's right there on their ship. If that leaks into paradise, history repeats itself, and suddenly, Yvaga 3 isn't heaven. It's another LV-426. But what if they don't even make it? Imagine the Corbelan running out of fuel in deep space. Weyland-Yutani swoops in with the rescue ship. It all smiles, all promises. But you and I know how that ends. Quarantine, lockdown, sealed doors, a cold clinical prison. And then, when things start to break down, when alarms blare and shadows move in the corners, that's when the real horror begins. Because Weyland-Yutani doesn't just want to help them, they want the goo. They want Andy. They want every piece of this nightmare to weaponize, and Rain's survival only paints a bigger target on her back. And then there's the offspring, the grotesque hybrid born from Weyland-Yutani's experiments, twisted by the goo into something we've never seen before. We all felt it when we watched Romulus. This was a stepping stone. And if that thing didn't really die, or if a piece of it survived, or worse, if Weyland-Yutani has samples of it, that's not just another xenomorph. That's evolution. That's the kind of nightmare that could redefine the entire alien life cycle. We thought the Queen was the peak of terror. What if the next movie introduces something even smarter, even deadlier, born out of human and alien DNA fused together again? But here's another scenario. Pirates, scavengers. Picture Rain and Andy's ship intercepted by desperate mercenaries who think they just scored a payday. They find out these survivors escaped a Weyland lab. They realize there might be xeno specimens or worse, black goo samples on board. Suddenly, greed kicks in. And you know how that ends. Their ship turns into a haunted house with aliens on the loose, survivors turning on each other, and Rain and Andy trapped in the middle of chaos. That would give us a whole new setting for alien horror without losing what makes it terrifying. And honestly, the stripped-down version might be the one that hits hardest. Just Rain, just Andy, one xeno. Keep it small, keep it personal, keep it terrifying. Romulus worked because it went back to basics. Claustrophobic corridors, the sound of breathing in the dark, the dread that comes from knowing the perfect organism is always 2 steps ahead of you. If the sequel leans into that, if it remembers that less is more, we could be in for something even scarier than what we just saw. But here's what makes me really confident about this movie. Álvarez isn't bailing. He's producing. Ridley Scott is producing. The script is complete. That means the bones are already there, the heart of the story is alive, and the franchise is in good hands. Now is about finding a director who, in Alvarez's words, is ready to go for the jugular. And that's Alien at its best. Every new director brings their own style of terror, their own lens on survival, but the DNA of the franchise stays intact. And guys, typically, and with other franchises, I would be concerned by the change of a director, especially after the success of Alien Romulus. But this is the Alien franchise. We went from Ridley Scott to James Cameron to David Fincher. And look, Alien 3, I know, but it's still David Fincher at the end of the day. Alien is known for reeling in new directors, having new, unique visions, and this is no exception. So look, maybe I should be a little bit more skeptical on this, but at the same time, it brings me a little bit more optimism knowing that we went from Alien to Aliens, from Scott to Cameron, to a 1-2 punch of two of the best movies ever made, the strongest in the franchise. And after the success of Alien Romulus and the way the fans appreciated and enjoyed it with its audience high score on Rotten Tomatoes, that gives me hope that the next installment will be strong as well. Now, who comes in to replace Alvarez is the question. They're going to look for somebody with the same qualities as him, I am sure, but I'm hoping we get someone with a new, unique vision that sticks to the formula that we know and love, but brings a new dimension to the Alien franchise. This isn't just a theory for theory's sake. The numbers don't lie. Romulus crushed it. $350 million worldwide on an $80 million budget. Critics loved it. Fans loved it. Audiences showed up. That's the second highest grossing Alien movie of all time. That kind of success doesn't just guarantee a sequel, it fuels one. It means the studio is all in. And when you add in the bigger picture, Alien Earth blowing up on TV, Prey bringing Predator back to life, you can see the strategy. Alien and Predator are alive again. The synergy is building, and there are even whispers that the two universes could once again collide. Alvarez has teased the idea of a crossover that sneaks up on us, that we wouldn't see coming until, boom, a Predator walks on the screen. If Yvaga 3 turns out to be a war zone full of alien nightmares, would it really be that crazy for the Predator to show up, hunting in the middle of the chaos? That's the kind of twist that would melt the fandom's brain. So where does that leave us? Rain and Andy are alive, but barely. They're heading toward a paradise that's almost certainly a lie. They're carrying the black goo, the single most dangerous substance in the Alien universe. Weyland-Yutani's eyes are still on them. Predators, human or otherwise, could be waiting in the shadows, and Alvarez has promised us we're heading into places we've never seen in Alien before. That doesn't sound like an ending. That sounds like a setup. That's the opening chapter of the next nightmare, and I don't know about you, but I'm here for it. I'll be in the theater day one, motion tracker in hand, waiting for the hiss of the airlock to sound of something breathing just out of sight. Because if Romulus proved one thing, it's that Alien still has teeth, and this sequel is going to bite us hard. Those are my thoughts. Alien Romulus, new director coming in. Who would you like to see direct Alien Romulus, the sequel? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll have a few names, do another video on that in the future because I've got some ideas, but nothing. We'll see where it goes. I can't wait. Look, I'm glad that there's a script. I'm glad that they're producing it. I'm glad that they are still fully on board with making this happen, especially after the success of Romulus and also the success currently of Alien Earth. Can't wait to see that. Check out my Alien Earth review later tonight after episode 6 airs. The Fly. Can't wait for that one. I'll be talking about that and discussing that with you. Let me know in the comments down below your thoughts. And until then, I want to thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate your time. Hit the like button, subscribe button. And until next time, may be the master of your own universe.